Mr. Nelson Mandela will, within seconds appear, and that'll be the moment the world has been waiting for. There's Mr. Mandela, Mr. Nelson Mandela, a free man taking his first steps into a new South Africa. Mrs. Winnie Mandela next to him, waving to the crowds. Hand in hand, they leave the Victor Verster prison.
And with that video, just looking at it and all of the nostalgia and all of the memories that come back, that is what Unfiltered will be focusing on this evening. It's the 30th anniversary of late former President Nelson Mandela's release from prison. And Peter Ndoro will be standing in for Desri Chauke. Good evening and welcome to The Full View. So 30 years?
Yeah, it's incredible. I mean, it was the biggest story in the world by far on that day. And, you know, if you were old enough to understand what was going on, everybody knows where they were when Nelson Mandela took his first steps of freedom after 27 years behind bars. So it's an incredible, incredible story. 30 years later, of course, now we're trying to unpack what's been the journey, because at the time it was such a big story of hope. It was a kind of a story of biblical proportions, you know, where you've seen the promised land. There's this hope of the vote, of jobs, of freedom, democracy, you name it. By him stepping out, people were hoping to see a whole new future unfold. 30 years have happened. And so in studio today, we're going to be talking to his eldest grandchild, Dilega Mandela, and also the CEO of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, just to give us a sense of, A, how it's going to be commemorated tomorrow, but also we're asking the question, is enough being done to keep the legacy of Nelson Mandela alive today?
Well, I think the other debate should be about the political and economics of it, of course, and all of the expectation post his release in 1990. But that conversation coming up at 8:30 later this evening.